Welcome to high school basketball here. We are at the Don Dome at Spanish Fork High School, and we have an exciting Region 8 matchup between the Uintah Utes and the Spanish Fork Dons. Both teams struggling coming into this ball game with records of 0-2 in region play, but looking to turn around the ship tonight. We'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We have the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikhail Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, and, of course, Dickerson Automotive. We thank these sponsors for making this broadcast possible. And also, we'd like to have a shout-out here to ways you can connect with Channel 17. As you enjoy this broadcast, we invite you to follow our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to keep up with the latest shows, live broadcasts, and our SF17 staff. Just look for Spanish Fork 17. You can check us out on either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And, of course, you can always watch these games on YouTube. And we'll take a break here as the national, as we repeat the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. The starting lineup.
There was no school tonight for Nebo School District, and the band's missing, of course, and it's a Martin Luther King Jr. weekend here in the state of Utah and around the nation. So crowd's a little small, but I imagine we're going to have a great atmosphere and a lot of noise tonight. So for the Uintah Utes, number 2, John Parker is starting, along with Corbin Gardner, Cruz Levia, number 21, Darian Walters, and Hunter Severe. Now, this Uintah Utes is a little larger, or a little taller team than Spanish Fork, so they might be outmatched there on size. And John Parker, a junior for Uintah, is coming in, averaging 19.1 points a game, and so Spanish Fork is going to have to key on him and see if they can stop him at all costs. And, of course, for Spanish Fork starting, we got Bridger Knowles. He's averaging 17.8 points a game for Spanish Fork. We've got Brandon Congdon, who was our MVP player of the game last week. He averages 7.4 points a game. Gavin Olden's also starting. He's averaging 3. And Tanner Argyle averaging 14.4 points a game. So if you're Spanish Fork, I don't know if they'll be able to go inside on the Uintah Utes tonight. That's going to be a tough matchup, especially since Hunter Severe, who's listed at 6'9", he's a junior, is very large, and I saw him warming up. He might not have the quickest lateral movement, but I think he'll be able to out-muscle Spanish Fork's Bridger Knowles, number 23, down low. We'll have to watch that matchup as this game progresses. So the starting lineups have been announced. I failed to mention Brady Lewis is starting, number 15. He's averaging nearly 8 points a game, but he does have, it looks like, some sort of soft cast on his left hand, and we'll see if that affects him throughout this ball game. Like I mentioned earlier, both teams looking for their first win in region play, and Uintah controls the tip. Ball's out to John Parker. Spanish Fork playing man-to-man defense early on. Parker passes down low to Severe. And up and under in no goods, number 21, Darian Walters for Uintah. Spanish Fork hurries back down the court, and we got a foul here as Tanner Argyle took it to the hoop, and he's getting up a little slow. Actually, no foul. They're just calling it Spanish Fork's ball out of bounds. Congdon to inbounds, throws it out to Argyle, who goes inside to Bridger Knowles, who's blocked from behind by number 2, John Parker that time. Uintah brings the ball up court quickly, and we got a foul here, and it'll be down, I believe, on Brady Lewis, and that'll be his first.
Foul number 15, Lewis.
Both teams getting up and down the court quickly. So Uintah, they run the ball a lot through John Parker. He hasn't taken a shot yet. We have an offensive foul here. I didn't see what happened, but it's on. But Walters will pick up his first foul in the game, and Uintah going full court here. Spanish Fork breaks the press easily. Lewis for three. Oh, looked good from here, but just a little short. And down the other way, Uintah quickly. Nice inside-out movement that time by Uintah. But still zeros for both teams early on. Like to see Spanish Fork maybe slow it down and try and work it inside. Bridger Knowles is clear out, forcing Revere to guard him clear outside. Now he goes back inside. No shot clock here in the high school level. You can take your time. Oh, and there, neither team being able to score here, and that's just a foul that you got to get back on defense if you're Bridger Knowles as he picks up one. That's his first foul of the game, second team foul on the Dons. Not a big worry there, but you want to use your fouls wisely if you're Bridger Knowles in that situation. Picks up a ticky-tacky one. And we got another foul here. This will be the third team foul on Spanish Fork. And it's on Brady Lewis, and that'll be his second. I think that was the right call, calling the foul. I just don't know if it was Lewis. I think it probably should have been on Congdon that time. Either way, they're taking the ball down. They will not be shooting free throws on this, and Brady Lewis has to check out early in this ball game. Oh, nice pass, but neither team able to find a bucket thus far in the ball game, and they've had some good looks. They're just not going down. Both teams early on going with this man-to-man defense. Actually, Uintah's in a zone here. Oh, great pass by Congdon to Knowles, and Knowles finishes, and he'll get an and one. Great pass by Congdon that time. As we see here on the instant replay, and Knowles finishes. He shot with his wrong hand that time, but he got the bucket nonetheless. The free throws up, and no good. So Bridger Knowles gives Spanish Fork a 2-0 lead, and they don't get back on defense. And John Parker has the easy dunk and misses it that time for Uintah. Wow, we've seen that hunt last couple of weeks here in high school basketball where you just need to go for the layup, and we got a jump ball situation. Uintah won the toss. Spanish Fork will retain possession this time. They're up 2 minutes, or up 2-0 here in the ball game. 2 minutes off the clock. Parker brings the ball up, looking to maybe slow things down. He had a dunk there to tie this ball game up and just did not connect. The three is an air ball for Uintah, and both teams are struggling mightily from the line. And with that, Sevier gets the Uintah Utes on the board, and he has 2 points, and we're all knotted up at 2. And Burton passed that time by Congdon. He thought Knowles was going to go that time, and Knowles stopped. So Cruz Leyba brings the ball up the court for Uintah. He's guarded by number 4, Tanner Olson, who's checked in for Spanish Fork. He came in for Brady Lewis, who's in early foul trouble. Oh, great move with the left hand that time by Corbin Gardner, and he'll pick up 2 points for Uintah. We had a travel there. I don't think it was called. Oldham up with an air ball, and we've seen a poor display of shooting so far, and Uintah leads 4-2. It's looking like once one of these teams gets hot, they could possibly take a commanding lead here early on in this ball game. And Gardner, he's got 4 now. He drives to the basket once again. Uintah on a 6-2 run here to start this first quarter. Bridger Knowles around his back, loses it that time and throws it out of bounds. And Spanish Fork just needs, I think, to slow it down, maybe get a little more control, and they're gonna take a timeout here, and that'll give us a chance to recognize some of our sponsors that make this broadcast on SF 17 great. We got the car guys, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. Thank you for making these broadcasts possible. Without them, we couldn't make these games possible. And also remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can just find us at Spanish Fork 17, get updates on upcoming events and see some of the great things that are happening in our community. And like always, you can watch these games on YouTube as this timeout is over. I think Spanish Fork just needs to cut down here on some of these turnovers and start playing smart basketball here, and I think eventually some of their shots will go down. But Uintah's done a great job, especially Gardner, of driving the ball to the hoop here, and that's why Uintah has this early 6-2 lead. And Gardner, once again, right on cue, has 6 out of the 8 Uintah points as he drives the hole. Great pass inside that time, and it looks like we got a foul here. This looks to be going on Walters. Actually, they call it on, yes, Walters, and that's his second. Oldham will check out for Spanish Fork, and in comes Josh Chingus. Tanner Olson to inbound the ball here for Spanish Fork, and Uintah's got that pesky full court defense, and they keep switching up between a zone and a man-to-man defense. It looks like when Sevier, their big guy, checks out, they might go man-to-man here as they go with their shorter lineup here for Uintah. Oh, great pass by Argyle. Knowles unable to control it. Finally does, and he gets called for a push-off here. No basket. He pushes off, and he gets his second foul here for Bridger. Actually, that's... Who'd they call that one on? They called that on number 22, Congdon, that time. They didn't call it on Knowles, and that's Congdon's first, Spanish Fork's fourth team foul. Spanish Fork's gone nearly 4.5 minutes and has not scored more than 2 points in this ball game. It's been a tough sledding out there. I think if I were Coach Jesse Roberts, I might have number 3, Tanner Argyle, try and attack or at least take a shot, because right now they're turning the ball over without getting any shot attempts up. Uintah spreads the ball, and if I'm Spanish Fork, I'm looking for number 3, Gardner. He's been on fire. He's listed at 6'7" too. He's got a great wingspan. It's down here on the near side of your screen. Uintah works it inside out, and John Parker hits the 3, and Uintah has an 11-2 lead here. We'll see how Spanish Fork answers here. Josh Chingus brings the ball up the court, guarded by Gardner that time. Great pass inside. Knowles gets fouled, nothing called, and he has all of Spanish Fork's 4 points here in the first quarter. John Parker brings the ball up, throws it into Gardner, who's having a good game, and they call another offensive foul. You got a charge that time. That official down on that side of the court is calling that quite often, so that's something you cannot extend your arm. Great call by the official once again. That foul on Gardner, and he's got 2. That's huge for Uintah. Number 5, Caleb Money's checked in for Spanish Fork, and he gets a great pass that time from Tanner Argyle, and Money has 2 points there. Checks in and gets the bucket there, as we see on the instant replay that time, sponsored by Car Guys. Let's see what we got here. We got another foul. The basket's no good. Chingus picks up his first foul. Spanish Fork already has 6 team fouls. Uintah will be shooting the rest of the way. Number 34, Hardy's checked in for Uintah. Uintah turns it over quickly down to Money, who's been a spark plug. Oh, but he's unable to make the left-handed layup that time, and Uintah chases down the other side of the court. And he stepped out of bounds, number 34 that time for Uintah. Hardy steps out of bounds, turning it over, and that'll give the ball to Spanish Fork. Colette Cook checks in for Tanner Olson for the Dons here. For as bad as the Dons have shot the ball and turned it over, they're only down 11-6 here. Uintah hasn't been able to capitalize on the mistakes thus far. A blessing for the Dons. And Knowles drives to the hole, spins, and gets 2. He has 6, and the Dons trail by only 3 here with 1:30 to go. Spanish Fork changes up to 2-3 zone here, trying to cover the inside. Great hands by Argyle. The ball doesn't go out of bounds, and he's able to pick it up, get it to Chingas, and Chingas dribbles it off his leg, and it'll be Uintah's ball. Looks like we have a Olson is back in the ball game, and Argyle will come out for Spanish Fork. If I'm Spanish Fork, they got to keep in mind that Gardner has 6 out of Uintah's 11 points. He's averaging nearly 14 points a game. When I get the ball, I'm going to try and attack him and see if I can't get him out of this ball game with 3 fouls. We're still early here in the first quarter. Or actually first half, late into the first quarter, pardon me. All right, Uintah throws the ball in to Sphere, works it out to Parker, and Parker hits again. That is his second tray of the ball game. He has 6. Uintah up 14-8. Caleb Money able to split the defense, and wow. Blocked by Parker, and Gardner that time is Olson. Uintah does have the size advantage inside. Spanish Fork working the perimeter. Bridger Knowles is out, which means they really don't have an inside game when he steps out, as he's their lone post player. We have a foul here on Uintah. It's like that'll be on number 4 for Uintah. That is Cruz Leba. Chingas, thought about the 3 that time, backs it back out. Spanish Fork looking to hold for the last shot. There's only 15 seconds. They only trail by 6 here. Uintah with a 14-8 lead. Sloppy play by both sides here thus far. Money with the 3. Isaac, just slightly off that time. And the clock will run out. And errant shot that time by Corbin Gardner. So from the Don Dome here, Spanish Fork trails Uintah 14-8. We'll take a break here on SF 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
In Spanish Fork, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
And we are back here on SF17 with the Uintah Utes leading the Spanish Fork Dons 14-8. We'd like to thank our sponsors for making this this broadcast and game possible for you. We got the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Dickerson Automotive. And we thank those guys for making this broadcast possible. This is also streaming on YouTube as well. And we'd like to have everybody that's watching this broadcast follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and see what's going on Channel 17 and when we'll be making these broadcasts possible. Thank you for your support in watching these games. And it's exciting to watch these high school kids perform. They didn't have anything like this when I was in high school. This is awesome, and they can go home and watch these replays and everything. So looks like Uintah is going to go inside here to Severe, and he posts up and is unable to connect. Great job by Bridger Knowles making that shot difficult. Spanish Fork in business. Not very many students here, as there was no school today, but the few that are here have been making some noise. Oldham takes the ball at the top of the three-point line. And, Argyle was hot last week against Salem Hills and was unable to connect that time. Parker brings it down, and, man, he looks athletic. And when he moves up the court, it's Athena Beauty, and that time he connects on a three to give Uintah a 6-point lead here. He's got 9. All are three-point shots. Brandon Congdon working the baseline, loses the ball, gains it momentarily, and then it goes out on him. Well, the refs are trying to decide who it is. We got a foul here. And this is number 6 on Uintah. Spanish Fork will be shooting the rest of the way. Oh, great inbounds play that time. Oh, but Knowles has it roll out that time. Uintah leads 17-8. They're up by 9. I mistakenly said 6. I can't see the 7 on the scoreboard. It looked like a 4 with the hoops being in the way. I apologize for that. Uintah looking to work the ball inside again. Spanish Fork in a man-to-man defense, and all 5 guys outside the three-point line as they're trying to use some isolation basketball here, and Uintah will turn it over that time. That's number 10 for Uintah, Lawson, who throws the ball out of bounds. Gardner, who has 2 fouls but also has 6 points for Uintah, their second leading scorer, checks into the ball game. And one thing Spanish Fork struggled with is in region plays. They've given up 2 30-point ball games thus far. One earlier this week to Eli Ballardstadt up at Wasatch, where he had 31. Contact that time, but Knowles is able to finish, and he's been putting this Spanish Fork team on his back as he has 8 out of the 10 points. Great job by using his strength to move Severe out of the way and get the basket. And Gardner goes to the hoop again, and he's got 8. Uintah increases that lead to 19-10. Spanish Fork desperately looking to make a run here, and Brady Lewis is short on the three-point shot, but it's rebounded by Knowles. Spanish Fork works the ball around the perimeter. Just seem out of sorts tonight. Both teams are 0-2 and struggling in region, looking for their first win here. And for Uintah, if they lose, it's about a 3-hour drive back, and that's got to be miserable to play in this Region 8 if you're that team. And Gardner connects, and he'll have 1 as it looks like Oldham picks up the foul that time. Gardner now in double digits. He's got 10. They'll be shooting 1. Looks like Uintah has all of their starters back on the floor as Walters checks in. Oldham will check out for the Dons, and in will come Tanner Olson. You can see on this setup here, Uintah definitely has the size advantages. They were lining up for that free throw. They are a lot taller team. But don't tell that to Knowles, who works the inside and gets 2 points there to cut this lead to 10. Uintah leading 22-12, but the Dons aren't out of it yet. We saw Salem Hills last week on SF-17 come back from down 2 at halftime and blow Spanish Fork out. And John Parker is human as he misses the three-point shot that time. Argyle quickly up the court. Looked like he might have been fouled that time. Pushed the issue and was unable to finish that time, and there was no foul called. Uintah working the ball around the perimeter. And that's the guy, if I'm Uintah wanting to take the shots, is Parker. The leading scorer, averaging nearly 20 points a game, gets 2, and Uintah's doubled up the Dons as they're up 24-12 and a near turnover that time. And wow, Spanish Fork is turning the ball out, turning it over ad nauseum here. I think if you're Coach Roberts, you might want to take a timeout in this situation. Maybe calm down the troops a little bit. Nonetheless, you have to have the ball to do that. And Uintah brings the ball up the court. Walters looking to go inside out. And Uintah's done a great job tonight of pushing the ball inside and then kicking it out to Parker, who's been able to hit a 3. And this time they work it around outside. And Parker's unable to connect as he's missed 2 in a row now. Congdon brings it up the other side. And Argyle's on the board as he gets his first 2 points of the ball game, and Spanish Fork now only trails by 10. Great body control that time as Argyle slipped, but was able to regain his balance and put that ball up and in. Oh, great block that time by Knowles as he's able to block Mason that time, but Walters is able to get the ball, and he puts up his first 2 points of the ball game for Uintah. And they are running this full court press, which I think has really disrupted the offense of Spanish Fork. But once they break it, they've been able to get a nice shot. No shot, it's down here. They'll call a foul on number 23, Mason, for Uintah. And Bridger Knowles will go to the free throw line shooting 1-1. And it's always critical to make this first free throw. It's almost worth 2 points in a sense. And Bridger Knowles does connect. He has 11 now, looking for his 12th point of the ball game. He's been the man tonight for Spanish Fork, and he's definitely making a push for the MVP Sports Player of the Game. You can find MVP Sports at 72 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, or give them a call at 801-798-3587, or visit their website at MVPSportsUtah.com. They're just one of these great sponsors that we have on SF17 that makes these broadcasts possible. Oh, and what a great block by Congdon. It goes out. Uintah will retain possession. But that gets the student body going here, as Congdon says, not in my house. Number 4, Leba, will inbound the ball for Uintah. He passes it to Parker, who was fouled that time by number 21, Bryler Jensen, for Spanish Fork.
Fouls on number 21, Jensen.
And that will put Parker to the free throw line, and I'm guessing this would not be the guy you would want to put to the line in one of these one-on-one situations. But nonetheless, Parker misses. Spanish Fork gets the rebound and quickly goes up the other way and turns it over. And that's been the dagger tonight for Spanish Fork, is the turnover. They hurry and push the ball up, and more times than not, they've thrown the ball out of bounds. That's no good. I think that's something that Coach Roberts will need to address here in this at halftime. See if they can't get more possessions, because if you're taking the shot, even if it's a bad shot, at least it has a chance of going in. Turnovers mean no shot, no chance of the ball going in, and that's pretty obvious, but that's been what's killing Spanish Fork. Uintah moves it around the perimeter and finally finds Gardner, who shoots it over the top of the rim. It eventually goes in, but it's no good because it hit the cylinder, which is considered out of bounds. If I were writing the rules of basketball, that would have counted, though. I think whatever it takes, if you can throw it off the glass behind the windows and it goes in, I think it should count. Congdon misses. Knowles picks it up and puts it back in, as he's got 2 more points, giving him 7 for the quarter, 13 for the ball game, and he's got 13 out of the 18. Hopefully somebody else from Spanish Fork can step up and contribute to this game. That's what they need. They also need somebody on the offensive end to step up for Spanish Fork. If I'm Uintah, I'm starting to double team Knowles every time he touches the ball. All right, so looks like number 45 for Uintah is checking in, and I don't have a number or a name for him, but they pass it into him. He's able to get it inside to Leba, who misses. And Spanish Fork quickly down, and this time they do get a shot, and it's a great shot by Olsen as it rattles in. A little toilet bowl action there, but it still counts for 2, and slowly but surely Spanish Fork's cut into that 12-point lead, and now they're halfway there as Uintah is leading by 6. Uintah has a lot of post players compared to Spanish Fork. Oh, and Leba answers as he knocks down the 3 that time, his first bucket of the game. And Uintah's hit 4 3-pointers so far in this game. And Knowles, the man inside, posts up, gets 2 more points, and he has a chance for another one here. He has 9 in the quarter, 15 so far in the first half. Knowles made a free throw earlier as he got fouled on one of these and ones. Actually, it was a one-on-one situation. All right, and he connects on that, cutting the lead to 6 there. Looks like Uintah is going to slow it down. There's only 55 seconds left. They could take the last shot if they want to. We'll see what they elect to do. But as they stall, that gives us an opportunity to talk about another sponsor, the Car Guys. They're at 872 North Main Street here in Spanish Fork. You can check them out at thecarguysut.net. Their phone number is 801-794-0077. And they offer some great vehicles down there on Main Street. I'm always envious of the people that can afford those nice trucks they have on their lot. And as we're talking about the sponsor, Knowles gets fouled here. He'll go to the free throw line. He'll be shooting 1-and-1 here. The first one's up and good. That's 3 free throw makes for Knowles, and he's been what's keeping Spanish Fork in this ball game. And he makes the second one, and it seems like Spanish Fork is only running on one cylinder on the offensive end, and that's Bridger Knowles. However, they've done a good job of keeping Parker and Gardner in check for the most part. Uintah will take a timeout here. Uintah had a 12-point lead. It's been cut to 4 thanks to Bridger Knowles. He's having himself one heck of a quarter, if you will. He's got 11 points in the quarter, and Spanish Fork's having themselves a pretty good quarter as they have. Sorry, you don't do math on the air. I'm doing math, but they've had 15. They've had 17 in this quarter. They only had 8 in the first quarter. So we get a chance to check out the cheerleaders here. Also, we'd like to thank Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance. They're located at 220 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. You can check them out at lancewilsoninsurance.com or give them a call at 801-798-9288. And they offer all sorts of insurance products. They're local. Let's support our local businesses here, with most of our sponsors being located right on Main Street. Now, Uintah is going to hold for the last shot here in the second quarter. If you're Spanish Fork, you got to close out on Parker. You got to close out on Gardner. Those two guys can shoot the ball deep. We've already seen Parker hit 3 3-pointers thus far, and he has 11 and is the leading scorer here for Uintah. Gardner has 10 as well, so 2 guys in double digits here for Uintah. Pass it out to Liba. He'll hold. Waves off the screen. So you've got to, at the high school level, you cannot be guarded for 5 seconds or it's a 5-second violation. And Liba did a good job of getting rid of number 21, Jensen. Uintah uses the ball inside out. Oh, and great block by Knowles. Gardner had missed the previous shot. There's not much time left. Argyle won't get it off in time, and it doesn't matter because it's far off to the left. And wow, great job by the Spanish Fork Dons making a comeback there in the second quarter. They trail Uintah 29-25 here at the half on SF-17.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And we are back here on SF-17, and we'll take a minute here to watch the cheerleaders perform here at halftime. Uintah leads 29-25. Great job by the cheerleaders that time. So Uintah leads 29-25, but Spanish Fork came roaring back in that second quarter and had 17 points. Bridger Knowles had 11 of those points. He's got 17 in the half so far. For Uintah, Parker, I've got him with 10, and I have I've got Parker with 12 and Gardner with 10, and it's been the two-headed monster for Uintah. Those two wing guys have done a great job of propelling Uintah to this 4-point lead. Both teams have struggled in region. They come into this ball game 0-2 in region play, looking for their first win. Spanish Fork up next week. They'll be at Payson, and that's going to be a tough rivalry game, as that is always a tough environment. Last year, Payson just blew Spanish Fork out of the gym both times they played. And also up next for Uintah, so Spanish Fork's next Friday. We'll have that game here for you on Channel 17. But up next for Uintah, they also play Payson, but that's on Tuesday. And Payson has to go out to Uintah to play that ball game on a Tuesday night. Rumor had it Springville played out there this Tuesday. They blew Uintah out. They ended up winning 57-39, but they had some problems and had to spend the night out there. So that's a really tough travel game to go clear out to Uintah. Uintah is probably used to it. They do it once a week. But so Payson has to go out there, so they might be a little bus weary when they come back from that game. And we're gonna take a break here, and we'll come back with more action here on Channel 17.
Better call ChemDry.
If you have pets, you need PERT, ChemDry's revolutionary pet urine odor and stain remover. ChemDry's innovative pet urine removal treatment eliminates pet urine and other odors at their source. Your pets can stay while their odors go away.
Voted 2014 Best Automotive Repair in Utah Valley Magazine, Dickerson Automotive.
I think the whatchamacallit on my car isn't working.
Not to worry. We're experts at fixing whatchamacallits.
Call for our specials or visit our website.
At Dickerson Automotive, we're committed to the finest repairs with personal care.
I trust Dickerson Automotive, and you can too.
Dickerson Automotive, way north on Main in Spanish Fork.
Here at Painter Motor, we have a variety of used vehicles from name brands such as Dodge, Buick, Ford, Kia, Hyundai, and Chevrolet. You'll find incredible deals, such as the 2013 Chrysler Town & Country for $18,995. The 2013 Chevrolet Impala LTZ, $14,995. We're the Painter Motor family, and we're here to get you on the road in the vehicle of your choice. No pressure, no hassle. Painter Motor.
Getting the health care you need can be confusing. Hi, I'm John Salambini, and as your advocate, I can help you get the assistance you deserve. My Advocate is a leading provider of support for Medicare savings and other community assistance programs. You may be eligible for government or other assistance programs to help low-income families get the health coverage they need. Also, let me connect you with other money-saving programs, all at no cost to you. Give me a call and let me be your advocate when it comes to health care.
And we are back here at the Don Dome. I'm Chris Hurst, and we are witnessing the Uintah Utes playing the Spanish Fork Dons. Uintah really went out to a 24-12 lead there early on. Spanish Fork did a great job of stopping the turnovers and getting some great shots. Bridger Knowles leading the way with 17, and he really was the man in the second quarter as he had 11 points, and he did all of his work inside, as most of those were points in the paint as he was posting up here. And we get a chance to look at some of the people that are here, as not very many students at all, but there was no school at Nebo School District, and it's tough when you play Uintah. Not a whole lot of excitement when the team has to travel nearly 3 hours to get here. But Uintah did a great job with Gardner and Parker. It almost sounds like a law firm, but they are both in double digits for Uintah. both wing players, but they do a great job, especially Gardner did, of driving the ball to the hole and finishing. And Parker did all of his work on the outside, but they've got a lot of size down low with Sever, who they list him at 6'9", and he's a tough matchup for Spanish Fork. He's able to get a lot of rebounds inside, and that was pretty much the difference is Uintah being able to have less mental mistakes, and Gardner and Parker taking good shots. And I think if Spanish Fork can take better care of the ball like they did in the latter part of the second quarter, this is their ball game to win. We'll take a break here in a minute, but before we do that, I'd like to thank Two Jacks Pizza. They're located at 30 North Main Street in Spanish Fork, and if you want to watch the second half with the pizza, go ahead and give them a call at 801-798-8601. Their website's twojackpizza.com, and they have some really, I think the hashtag tag for them is Yummy Pizza, because they have the best pizza you'll ever taste, and that's not an opinion. That is a fact. Before we leave, I want to just give you a couple keys here. I think for Spanish Fork, they've got to get somebody else going. The majority of the points has gone through Bridger Knowles. They need to have somebody like Argyle or Congdon, or somebody stepped up. Congdon only had, or didn't have any points, and Argyle had 2. Anyways, we'll take a break here on SF-17, and we'll come back with second half action here between the Uintah Utes and the Spanish Fork Dons.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And we are back here on SF-17. The Uintah Utes lead 29-25 here. Both teams loosening up before the third quarter starts. Let's take a minute here to thank our sponsors once again. We've got the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, and Dickerson Automotive. Of course, we'd invite you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can check out upcoming events that'll be on Channel 17, see what some of our staff's doing, and just have a good time on the old social media with us. All right, back to basketball action here. There's about 30 seconds to go, and then we'll get this thing underway. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the key for Spanish Fork is they're going to have to find somebody else besides Knowles to step up if they want this victory and go 1-2 in region and try and make a push into the playoffs. And if you're Uintah, I think that you've got to continue to work Parker and Gardner outside, let Gardner drive inside, and then every once in a while I would pass the ball into Sever. He's got a huge size advantage. Spanish Fork has one of the shorter teams they've had in recent years. As we start underway, Argyle on the court, along with Congdon, Knowles, Oldham, and Lewis. Uintah going with the zone defense. Oh, great drive by Argyle that time, and he'll get 2 points, and we got a whistle. Not sure what the whistle's about, but great drive by Argyle as he picks up his 4th point of the ball game. All right, Uintah brings the ball up. Spanish Fork in his zone defense as well. Spanish Fork trailed by 12. They've cut it to 2, and now it's a 4-point lead, but I think it's great job, great heart, great effort by Spanish Fork as they've been able to cut into that lead. It looked like Uintah might just blow them out of this gym, but Spanish Fork will have none of that tonight. Congdon drives in, and he picks up his first 2 of the game here in the third quarter, and Spanish Fork cuts it to 2, and they look a lot more comfortable out there. Uintah looking like they might be the team that's down just by body language, and Spanish Fork looks loose and in control. Oh, great job by Spanish Fork denying Sever, who's 6'9", the opportunity to finish there. And they'll work it into Lewis, who kicks it to the outside. And Argyle once again drives in. Oh, and Knowles picks up the trash, and we have ourselves a tied ball game here as it's 31 apiece. Great job by Knowles tipping it in. We'll be able to see that here on the Car Guys instant replay. Great job by Spanish Fork as they look like they're the team in control here early on in the second half. Uintah slows it down, looking to the outside, and they'll get it to Parker. He's deadly, and he hits. That gives him 15 in the ballgame, and 4 of those coming behind the arc. Impressive display of shooting by Parker. Spanish Fork has to know where he's at all times. Oh, great drive. Looked like it was going to be a great drive by Argyle. He loses control. Uintah quickly down the other side. And they'll work the ball outside. They'll find Parker, who finds Gardner, who's wide open in the corner, and he hits. And just like that, Uintah's increased this lead back to 6 on back-to-back threes with Parker and then Gardner hitting. And those guys have been the cog that's got this clock going for Uintah, if you will. All right, Spanish Fork resets. They haven't been turning the ball over early here, and they've been getting good shots. And Bridger Knowles looks unstoppable. Put an S on his chest. He's been Superman tonight as he gets two more, and that puts him up over 20 points. He's got 21 in this ball game. Turnover by Uintah. They get it quickly out to Congdon. We'll see if he throws it down. Oh, he goes for the dunk and misses. And these kids have to just lay the ball up, and Bridger Knowles gets 2 more, and that's 6 in the quarter already for Bridger, and we're only 3 minutes into it. Seems like the pace has really picked up in this third quarter, and the play's been a lot cleaner by both teams. Uintah passes it out to Parker. Parker, good. That's his second 3. That's 9 points from behind the arc for Uintah here in the last little while as they are countering with 3s, and they have themselves a 40-35 lead, I believe. I don't have a real great view of the scoreboard here. I apologize. Uintah going with man, and Congdon's able to break it. Oh, and he misses his second easy lay-in. Back-to-back times down the court, he's missed easy shots. He's got to finish. He's just a sophomore, though. Oh, my goodness, and Leba hits a 3. And everybody's getting on the action here for Uintah behind the three-point line. Oh, my goodness. Spanish Fork tied this thing up, and Uintah's gone on a 12-4 run here. Bridger Knowles will go to the line. He's been there a lot. Severe will pick up his first foul. Uintah only has 3 seniors on this team. Very young team. Gardner, Leba, and Walters are their 3 seniors, so they'll be bringing a lot of talent back next year as well. It's great to see these youngsters for Uintah perform. Spanish Fork, more of a senior-laden team, although Bridger Knowles, who was at the line, who connects on 2 there that time, he is just a junior himself. All right, Uintah brings the ball up the court. Double team. Walters in trouble. He bounces the ball off his foot. Not sure what they called. Looks like the ball got knocked out on his foot, but they're going to say it was out on Spanish Fork, at least from the angle I had up here in the booth. Happened right in front of me. Oh, foul that time. Late call. They needed to call that a little earlier. It's the right call. And that'll send Gardner to the free throw line. We haven't had too many fouls here. Oh, they call it on Lewis that time. I believe he's in foul trouble as he's got 3. They haven't called too many fouls as both teams only have 1 apiece here. It's been a lot cleaner third quarter for sure for both teams. And Corbin Gardner hits the free throw. That gives him 14 in the ball game. Tries here for the second one. He has a really beautiful shot, great release, and that thing was silky smooth. And Uintah increases their lead to 8 here. Spanish Fork needs to make another run here to get back into striking distance before the fourth quarter starts here. They move the ball around the perimeter, and I like how Argyle's been aggressive here in the third quarter. He drives the ball to the hoop. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Fouls on number 3, Gardner.
And that's huge. The fouls on Gardner. He has 3. He's starting to get himself in a little bit of foul trouble as well. Argyle, a decent free throw shooter, and I jinxed him as that one was way off. Spanish Fort trailed by 4 at the half, 29-25, but the action's definitely picked up as both teams have already scored in double digits here in the quarter, and Argyle connects, and that gives him 3 points in the quarter, 5 in the ball game. Parker does a great job of moving the ball outside. They find Gardner. Oh, and he misses. That would have been huge for Uintah had that gone down. Spanish Fork fortunately gets the rebound and goes up the other way. Uintah is playing a full court press. I think that's kind of stopped some of the momentum of Spanish Fork. It's disrupted them getting in a good offensive groove at times. Congdon finds Knowles. We'll see if he goes to work. He does once again. Oh, and he'll go to the line. The foul's on number 45, who is missing from the roster, but definitely is a tall, big individual for Uintah. Wonder if he's on the sophomore team. Bridger Knowles connects on the first free throw. That gives him 9 in the quarter. He's looking for another double-digit quarter, and he's going to be close to... I don't do math on the air, so give me a minute, but we'll watch him shoot the second one in. And great job that time by Money as he taps it out. But eventually we get a foul here. And that foul will be on Knowles. Just the second team foul of the half and second foul on Knowles. And he'll get a little breather here as he'll check out. And Spanish Fork will go real small here, which means perimeter play. They don't have anybody to post up in this situation. Uintah brings the ball up with Leba here. Brings it up quickly to Parker. Parker releases, and man, that is his third three-pointer of the quarter, and he's got himself a heck of a game as he's got 21 on the night. Spanish Fork, like you said, they really don't have a post player. They'll have to work it outside, and they do. Oh, good look by Olsen's unable to connect, and we got all sorts of action as Leba and Caleb Money get tangled up. I don't think they're going to be going out for lunch or dinner after this ball game. Uintah leading by 9 and has the ball. That's huge. Parker will bring it up. He's got 21, averaging 19 on the season. And he'll pass it in. And big number 45, who I have got to add for point purposes, has 2 in the ball game, and he'll get an and 1 opportunity. That was a power move that time. And that's what Uintah can do right now with Knowles being out of this ball game, is they can dominate the paint, as he's really their only big guy on this team this season. If your kid's large, please sign him up to play basketball for Spanish Fort next year. And Parker with the steal, and he goes coast to coast. And he now has 11 in the quarter. Spanish Fork will take a timeout. Uintah leading 52-39 as we see Parker go coast to coast there on the Car Guys instant replay. We'd like to thank Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for sponsoring high school basketball here on SF-17. They are located at 1550 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. You can give them a call at 801-798-7711. And their website is tripletheating.com. And Triple T Plumbing, Heating, and Air is the expert in heating, air conditioning, and plumbing services in Utah County and Washington County. And their family-owned company aims to make your home comfortable no matter what season it is. So here, if you need your furnace tuned up, it might be a good time. Looks like we might be having some cold weather coming as the inversion is on its way. And that's my least favorite part of winter, but it's great to get down here to the Don Dome and watch some basketball here. We'll see if Spanish Fort can make a comeback here as they trail by 13 late in the third quarter. They have the baskets in such a situation that I can't see the Spanish Fort points or the clock that well. So I'll have to rely on my monitor, but we got a foul here in the action.
Fouls on number 4.
Leba picks up the foul. Just the 4th team foul on Uintah. Neither team in the bonus yet in the second half. Caleb Money will inbound it. He'll get it out to Argyle. Argyle will pass it back out to Money and then over to Congdon. Spanish Fork does a great job of working it on the outside and then eventually going into Knowles, and if he needs to, he'll take it inside or he'll push it back out to one of these guys and reset. Caleb Money does go into Knowles. Knowles will go to work. Oldham's owns the baseline. He's wide open down there. Uintah recovered quickly, and great job by Knowles using his body in position to get 2 more points there for Spanish Fork, and he has more points than I can count right now. I think number 12 Watkins here is going to get 2 points here, but it looked like he just tripped up on his own feet, and Knowles will pick up a 3rd foul. I disagree with that call, but nonetheless Watkins will be shooting 2, and that's a huge foul as that's 3 on Knowles, and now he's in foul trouble for the Dons. Uintah with an 11-point lead here. They were up by 4 at the half, and they've pushed it by another 7 here in the 3rd quarter, and they've shot the ball well from the outside, hitting 5 3-pointers here in the 3rd quarter. And the back's last free throw's up and good for Watkins. That's his first point of the game. Oldham loses the ball momentarily, gets it back. Tanner Argyle takes it inside. We've seen him taking it in, which is a good sign. He just hasn't been able to connect very well, as he's only got 3 points in the game, but he's averaging 14 on the season. And wow, that looked good for a second coming out of Gardner's hand, but it's well short. Uintah gets the rebound. Looks like Coach Hardy, Kenny Hardy for him, is going to have him hold for the last shot as we're under 30 here. Leba has to break the 5-second call that time, but this is the exciting part of high school basketball. I wish there was the money and the ability to implement a shot clock of maybe 30 seconds like at the college level, but instead Uintah will be able to hold for like the last 40 seconds and then take a shot. But it's smart strategy here, and Gardner tightly guarded, takes a bad shot, but nonetheless Uintah has a 12-point lead here as they lead Spanish Fork 53-41 heading into the 4th quarter. You're watching high school basketball on SF-17.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork. MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And we are back here on SF-17 as the Dons will try and make a stand here in the 4th quarter. They trail 53-41 here on Channel 17. We'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible here on Channel 17. We got the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jack's Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, and Dickerson Automotive. And of course, we'd ask you to follow us and watch these games on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram and Spanish Fork. Just look us up at Spanish Fork 17, and you can see what exciting events are going on in the community. Brady Lewis will inbound the ball here to Tanner Argyle as we reset. Spanish Fork got blown out of the gym, for lack of a better term, as they lost that quarter by 8 points. Bridger Knowles, though, is having him a very good ball game as he has 28 points for the Dons. Quickly, Uintah resets. Oh, we got a travel as Severe shuffled his feet that time. He caught the ball. He shuffled him a little bit. Great call by the officials. And Spanish Fork will get the ball trailing by 12, and they're going to have to make a big run to get back in this ball game to either tie it up to send it into overtime or to win it. But I think they did a better job in that third quarter of actually getting shots. Now, they just weren't following at times, but they weren't turning the ball over as much as they did in the first part of the first half. And Bridger Knowles goes to work. He kicks it out to Olsen. Olsen up and good, and that is Olsen's first three-point make of the night. He has 5 points, but great inside-out play that time, and Knowles picks up the assist. And we're down to a single-digit lead here for Uintah, and Uintah does work it into Sevier, who is a big guy. He's got 4 points. They list him at 6'9", and he's just a junior here for Uintah. And Spanish Fork turns it over. They're down by 11 here. You can't afford to be turning the ball over in this situation. Uintah brings it up slowly. They can take their time. They have 11-point lead and work for a good shot if I'm them. Don't force anything. Keep playing the way you have. Get the ball to Gardner, Parker, Leba, and then they're going inside to Sevier, and he gets another big bucket. He's got 6 in the ball game, and he has 4 in the quarter so far. So he has all of Uintah's points in this fourth quarter. Congdon drives, ball Haynes, basket counts, he's fouled. He gets a one opportunity here. Got to learn to use my words. I apologize, but Congdon will shoot one from the free throw line. See if he can cut this lead to 10. I have Congdon with 5 points now after the free throw's good. Spanish Fork cuts it to 10. And they're going to have to play some intense defense here and create some turnovers. They're going with 3-2 zone. Uintah does not have anybody inside the three-point line. They do now, but they didn't momentarily. All 5 guys were on the outside playing perimeter ball, and Walters turns it over that time for Uintah, and that's huge. We'll see if Spanish Fork can cut this to a single-digit lead. Argyle will bring the ball up the court here. Looking to get the ball inside to Knowles. Knowles posting up. They move it around the perimeter. Great drive by Olsen. Oh, he's unable to connect. Good idea. They just need to get some of these shots to drop. But at least they're not turning it over. That's a good sign for Spanish Fork, even in the weeks to come. Oh, great pump fake that time by Gardner, and he gets it over to Leba, who has 2. Uintah increases that lead to 12. All right. Great job by Knowles, and it's up and under, and I've got him with 30 points. He has 30 out of the Spanish Fork's 49, and great job, and gets the roll to work that time, and we'll see that as we saw that on the Car Guys instant replay. We'd like to thank Dickerson Automotive. They're way up north on Main Street at 1900 North Main Street in Spanish Fork. You can give them a call at 801-794-9385, or you can visit their website at dickersonauto.com, and they're the finest repairs with personal care. You can go talk to Todd or Zach and get your car running right. I know I've had to use them for some of my personal auto repairs, and they're a very reliable company to use. To reset here in the ball game, Spanish Fork at times has looked horrible. I don't like saying that about high school kids. But at times they haven't looked that good. But here in the second half, they've looked good, I think. But the problem is Uintah's just looked a little bit better. I think both teams have cut down the turnovers here. But if you're Spanish Fork, you're going to have to play some intense defense, force some tough shots for Uintah. But then on the offensive end, you need the rock to fall in the hole. It seems like there might be a lid on that basket for Spanish Fork. Uintah will take the ball out of bounds with a little over 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. What's at stake is both teams are 0-2 in region, looking for their first win. You do not want to fall to 0-3 in region play. That's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. Oh, Uintah works it inside. Great shot, but unable to connect that time. And we'll have a foul this time on Parker. He completely disagrees. Spanish Fork will get the ball going the other direction. Wow, like I mentioned, Knowles has 30. If I'm Uintah, I'm finding him and I'm putting 5 guys on him if possible. You might want to Michael Jordan defense him up and put everybody on him. Spanish Fork's able to break that full court press finally. Great pressure by Uintah's defense in the backcourt. Knowles trips, but he's fouled. That'll be the 7th team foul, I believe, on Uintah, and Knowles will be shooting 1-1. And that foul's on Gardner. That's 7. He should be shooting. Yeah, they'll line him up. And that is 4 fouls on Gardner. The next one, he is disqualified. These are huge free throws as Spanish Fork trails here in this ball game. Down by 10. Knowles with the first one. Oh, and it misses the front end of a 1-1, and that's huge as Uintah retains possession and still has a double-digit lead here at the Don Dome. Uintah works the ball on the outside. Waiters drives it in, unable to connect. And number 45 for Uintah gets the rebound, goes back up. He's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Number 45 for Uintah has 2 points in this ball game, looking to add to that total, and he does. Connects on his first free throw. Spanish Fork brings in Anthony Palape, the junior here. And the second free throw's up, and it rattles in. It wasn't the prettiest free throw, but it still counts for 1 point for Uintah, and they've got a 12-point lead here halfway through this fourth quarter. They were up by 12 to start it. Spanish Fork has made no progress thus far, but Uintah's got that stingy full-court defense they're playing that Spanish Fork's struggling to break. Oh, and what a block. Rejected that time, Palape was, by Uintah's number 45, and Uintah slowly brings it up the other side. And I think that full-court press has really disrupted Spanish Fork's offense here, and I think that's been the reason Uintah's been able to retain their lead, and Walters will go to the line. He's fouled by Money that time. Now Spanish Fork has 16 fouls, so both teams will be shooting the rest of the way. Walters at the free throw line. The first one is well short. Spanish Fork takes out the reserves. Nearly a hockey line change here, and they bring in all the starters with the exception. 3 out of the 5 starters are now in the ball game for Spanish Fork because they're looking for a spark to get back in this ball game. And Walters makes the second free throw. Uintah's done a great job of slowing this game down with that full court press. Olsen misses the 3. And now Uintah will take their time bringing the ball up the court. Walters brings it up. Uintah's got everybody pretty much lined up on the perimeter. They got somebody at the top of the post. Oh, wow, what a move by Gardner that time as he gets his first 2 points of the quarter. He has 17 in the ball game. Knowles leads all score with 30. He drives in, he creates contact, and he gets the bucket and 1. He'll cut into this lead here. It's 64-49. I think they called that foul down. So the bucket's no, they didn't. The bucket was good. Knowles misses the free throw. Oh, we got bodies all over the place. Everybody's able to get up, and we have a jump ball. And Uintah gets possession as Spanish Fork had it to start the quarter. Down 15 here. Uintah has not taken their foot off the gas pedal here in the fourth quarter and are just looking to run this clock out and go 1-2 in region. Up next for Uintah, they'll be at home on Tuesday against Payson. And for Spanish Fork, they'll be at Payson next week. We'll have that game for you here on Channel 17. Uintah playing keep away here. They find Liba, who's way wide open, and why not? He hits a 3. That gives him 11 in the ball game. And Uintah's got an 18-point lead, and they can start warming up the buses. It looks like they'll be going home happy with a victory. Oh, great jive by Argyle that time. He'll get 2, and he'll get the and 1 opportunity. Oh, are they saying it's down?
Foul number 4, Leba.
Leba picks up the foul.
Argyle will be at the line.
Argyle will be shooting 2 free throws, as they did not count the bucket that time. And he makes the first free throw as they are in the bonus. 1-1. Uintah will be shooting 2 free throws every time now, as the Spanish Fork's next foul will... Oh, actually, Spanish Fork will be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way, as that was Uintah's 9th foul. Spanish Fork hits 51 as Argyle's able to connect on both free throws. He's got himself 5 in the ball game, well under his 14-point average. Uintah moves the ball around the perimeter. I think they're going to stall here, and let's thank another sponsor, McKell Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law. They're at 642 Kirby Lane, Suite 105 in Spanish Fork. You can give them a call at 801-798-9000, and their website's utahlegalteam.com. They can help you out with personal injury, accidents, low-cost bankruptcy, family, and criminal law. Oh, they're saying it's Foster here at the line, number 45. He misses the free throw. He's got 4 in the ball game. Spanish Fork trailing by 16, but Knowles gets the bucket and 1 here, as I have him with 34 points in the ball game. And at the conclusion of this ball game, we'll name the MVP Sports Player of the Game. If I was a betting man, it's going to have to be him, as he has the majority of the points here and can add to his total, and he does. He makes it 35 points. Spanish Fork down by 13. Coach Jesse Roberts takes a timeout, sees if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat. It's going to take a magic trick to get this victory, but just this last weekend, Nevada made a huge comeback in Albuquerque at the pit against New Mexico. So crazy things can happen in basketball. Spanish Fork's not out of it yet, but it's close. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on Channel 17 for making this broadcast possible. We have the car guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jack's Pizza, McKell Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, and Dickerson Automotive. Please use local businesses here. It helps all of us out here in Spanish Fork. And also, we'd like you to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Check us out at Spanish Fork 17 and see what exciting events we have going on here. And, of course, you can watch all these games and watch rebroadcasts on YouTube. Spanish Fork, or Channels 17 there. Uintah runs the baseline here. And they're able to get the ball. Spanish Fork's gone full court press here. We have a foul. Not sure. I saw. Okay, they're going to call it on Congdon. So it was on the ball. I didn't see a foul there. Had a bad angle, to be honest. And that'll put Gardner at the line. Gardner has 17 in this ball game. Leading scorer for Uintah, along with Parker, who has 17. Gardner makes the first one. And they've got Gardner, Parker, and Leba are all in double digits for Uintah, and that's been the 3-headed monster that's led this team for Uintah. And Gardner connects on the second one as well. Oh, and great hustle by Leba as he runs into the student body there section, and will knock it out. Spanish Fork will take the ball out of bounds. It's number 21, Bryler Jensen, who inbounds it to Bridger Knowles, and Bridger Knowles does what Bridger Knowles does and takes it inside, but is unable to connect. Oh, he's having himself a very good ball game and a losing effort tonight, Bridger Knowles. Oh, great pass by Gardner. He goes into Foster. Foster's able to get 2 more. He's got 6 in the ball game. And Argyle hits his first 3 of the ball game. He's deadly at times from behind the arc. He connects, and Spanish Fork still trails by 14, but they haven't given up as they're playing hard here. Neither team's unloaded the benches yet. Oh, and they get the ball into Foster. He's unable to connect. What do we got here? Sorry, I turned my head down. And Foster picks up the foul, and Knowles will be going to the line. Knowles with 35 points, looking to add to that total. He's got 35 out of the 57 points here for Spanish Fork. Impressive effort by him, and he's been working hard down low all night long. Uintah looks to be going 1-2 in region play. Spanish Fork will drop to 0-3, and they play those pesky Lions in that rival that's always heated. That'll be an intense game over at Payson High School next Friday, and we'll have that here on Channel 17 as this thing winds down. Spanish Fork will foul Parker. Parker hasn't scored in the quarter, but he has 17 in the ball game, quietly approaching his average of 19 points a game. And Uintah, they played a lot of out-of-state teams to start region play as Parker makes the first free throw, and so I think they represented the state and the region quite well in winning some of those out-of-state games. Parker makes the second one as well. He's got 19 in the ball game. Great hustle by Walters, but he comes up fouling number 21. That's Jensen for Spanish Fork that will get 2 free throws here as Spanish Fork is in the double bonus, trailing by 15. 43 ticks of the clock left here as, the first free throw bounces out. Looked like it was going to go in for a second, but it does not. Second free throw up and good as Jensen gets his first point of the ball game, and Spanish Fork takes a timeout here. And if you're Spanish Fork, this is a coaching moment for Jesse Roberts as he prepares for the rest of the region season. Very unlikely that they can come back and win this ball game, but it's a good opportunity to coach and let your team know what they can improve on for next week. Spanish Fork does not have to play Tuesday, so they'll have a week to fine-tune things, and Uintah will be at home against Payson, as I've mentioned earlier, and been very impressed with the outside shooting of Uintah's John Parker tonight, as he has put on quite a shooting display. As he has 5 3-pointers out of his 19 points. Spanish Fork, though, it's been all Bridger Knowles as he has 35 in this ball game. 35 out of the 59. Uintah will get the ball. Spanish Fork will be running a full court press here, trying to create a turnover. It's a man-to-man full court press. They do a good job of switching and trapping people as needed. You got a foul. This will either be on Jensen or Money of Spanish Fork. Walters will go. Parker will go to the line to try and to add to his total. He's got 19 in the ball game. Parker will have 20 as he makes the free throw. He's hit 3 free throws in this game and in this quarter. At the top of Region 8 coming into tonight, both Springville and Maple Mountain were 2-0, and Wasatch, who beat Spanish Fork, was 1-0. So we'll see if Spanish Fork can compete with those teams, and they have to play both of those teams at the top 2 more times, Springville and Maple Mountain, as they have not played yet. Air ball that time by Spanish Fork, and Uintah looking to run out the clock. They got to get it past the line. Great job by Argyle on the steal. He'll get it off to Jensen, who travels. Just lost his footing. He caught the ball facing the wrong direction, got all turned around, and just couldn't dribble in that sequence and travels. Great call by the officials, unfortunately, that time. Parker has the ball. He's fouled. He'll get 2 more free throws. We've only got 12.6 seconds left in this ball game. Uintah with a 16-point lead here. And Parker, man, he's got a beautiful stroke on that free throw shot, and he makes another one. And the second one's up and good. I've been very impressed with Parker. He is just a junior for Uintah. Spanish Fork will see him at least 3 more times. And Uintah will dribble this ball out as Leyba has it. And that's your final. The Uintah Utes come down to Spanish Fork High School in the Don Dome and beat Spanish Fork 77-59 here. We'll take a break and we'll come back with a recap here on Channel 17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And we are back here on Channel 17 as Uintah Utes win 77-59 here. Great job by Uintah in playing smart basketball, limiting their turnovers and coming up victorious as they go to 1-2 in region play. Spanish Fork will drop to 0-3, and they were led by Bridger Knowles. I have him for 35 points unofficially as I was trying to keep track, and he was the man for Spanish Fork. Nobody else hitting in double digits for Spanish Fork tonight, as it was pretty much the Bridger Knowles show. Spanish Fork struggled in that first half, especially in the first part of that first half, by turning the ball over, and they resorted to some of those tactics, unfortunately, late in the fourth quarter as well. And Uintah just playing smart basketball and getting hot from behind the three-point line is what was the difference in this ball game. But Bridger Knowles worked hard down low, did a great job of keeping him in, especially since everybody else seemed to be struggling, and there was at times a lid on the basket here for Spanish Fork. So we'd like to thank, we'd like to make Bridger Knowles the MVP Sports MVP player of the game. He had 35 and got most of those points from the free throw stripe and in the paint, and just looked like he was unstoppable tonight. But it is in a losing effort, unfortunately. We'd like to take one last moment here to thank our sponsor for making this broadcast possible on SF17. We have the Car Guys, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, and Dickerson Automotive. Thank you guys for making this broadcast possible. Next up for us is we'll be at Payson. Spanish Fork will try and get their first win in the region play as they fall to 0-3 on this early region season. They've dug themselves a little bit of a hole, but I think with Knowles, if they can get Argyle hot and Brandon Cogden, there is the possibility that they can make a push for the playoffs. I think there's been moments where they've played well. They just need to play 32 minutes of basketball instead of having stretches where they just don't look like they belong in this region. Well, for all of our team here at SF17, I'm Chris Hurst. The Uintah Utes are victorious 77-59. We thank you for watching our broadcast and have a great weekend.